Hello, boys and girls. This is Don9151 in Mekkah,
Hi.
and you're watching Chapter 20 of my Fire Emblem 6 Hard Mode 0% Gross playthrough. So plot-wise, this is the climax of the Ilia arc. Here we are finally confronting one of the corrupt Etrurian nobles that first appeared back in Chapter 16, and who better to exact our revenge than the handsome and dashing Perceval.
Yeah, Perceval's getting all warmed up for this because, well, this guy is really a douchebag. One of the most evil things he did, in my opinion, is lock up all these poor green NPC guys that you might be able to see in your lower left of the video in a few seconds when we're doing the formation. These NPCs, they are allied with you, but you cannot control them. One of them is actually a recruitable unit. Her name is Juno, and she's pretty bad, but we need to recruit her because we recruit everyone, and we need her specifically to be alive to get the guidance chapter that comes after this. But the rest of the prisoners, we need those alive to get the Angelic Robe at the end of the chapter as a reward. We're not actually opening the prison cell though, we're just using the rescue staff to get Juno out of there. Everyone else is just left there to rot, but plot-wise they survive.
Yeah, for some reason, the moment you open that door to the prison cell, they all just kind of flood out. Even though it's safer just to stay in there, because when they're inside the prison cell, nothing can harm them. Not even the Ballista that are on this map can reach them. So, I mean, I question why they would want to suicide, if I think their only motive is to frustrate the player.
Yeah, it's like artificial challenge. Just like the rest of this map, because Niime just trivialized it.
Yeah, this is one of our first full warp skips, courtesy of Niime. A warp skip is kind of a full warp skip is kind of an umbrella term in Fire Emblem terminology. It generally refers to when someone uses warp to move basically the boss killer and a lord across almost the entire chapter. And so here we have to use warp twice because we obviously can't drop Roy anywhere near the throne because all those enemies would murder him. We can watch them murder Garret instead.
Well, he does survive, spoilers, but he gets quite close to death. The thing about the rest of the chapter is we need Laylim to be close to the front line in order for our warp strategy for next turn to work. So we need to block her off from all these very bloodthirsty enemies, and one of the people to do that is Niime with the Nosferatu tome, which is quite a sight to see, because again she has 25 HP, but here she is taking hits and then healing back up with Nosferatu, making sure she survives something that a lot of units would have trouble surviving.
As long as the unit can take a hit and manage to hit back with Nosferatu, he or she pretty much has infinite durability until the tome breaks. Some of you are probably familiar with how incredibly awesome it is in Fire Emblem 13, and it's almost the same thing here, except that the users of it aren't quite as good, and it's not quite as reliable because there's nothing like pair-up to buffer a unit's hit stats. One thing I should remark on the status staff targeting, the reason why to drop Garret near the throne actually is mostly to absorb this Berserk staff use. The reason why he gets targeted instead of Perceval is because enemy staff AI in this game preferentially targets units that are lower in the deployment order. So for example, if you went back to the beginning of the video, you might notice that the bottom 3 units in the deployment order are Niime, Douglas, and Garret, and they are the 3 units here who just got statused on enemy phase.
Yeah, and that leaves Perceval free to 2-hit KO or 2-round KO the boss thanks to the energy ring that we gave to him at the start of the chapter. Something else you might want to mention real quick is the treasure in this chapter. We just took a red gem. Are you going to get anything else?
No, unfortunately we cannot get anything else because everything else in the chest is too far out of the way. And that's quite a shame because the chest in this chapter has some pretty good stuff. There's speed wings that we would really like, because we're going to end up needing some speed wings anyway later on. There's also a purge tome that we may or may not like because we do get a purge user later on, and we also get a possible sleep staff that we're missing out on.
Oh well, could be worse. We do get the boss kill and everything is being set up for Roy to be warped in after he's been danced to by Laylim, which is the solution to, well, Roy can't survive enemy phase over there. We also saw that you sold quite a few more items to save that, to not have to do that later and not get anything from the armory. And that leaves us with one amazing thing, Arena.
Yes, we get to see how great Juno is against this enemy general, who, in order to take 10 damage per hit, has to have 8 defense.
Wow. This is absolutely gross, because even with that nerf defense, like he has -5 from his base, Juno can barely hurt him and gets 2 hit KO back. Juno's stats are really, really, really bad, but she has 8 moves, she can fly, so she has some value to us.
To put things in perspective, Juno's stats are slightly worse than those of Tate, and Tate joined like half the game ago. So she really is like kind of a bad unit, combat-wise, for this point in the game. Here we have Roy C's. That's chapter 20 completed in 2 turns. We get our Angelic Robe as a reward for saving the prisoners. And Mekkah and I will see you next time.
See ya.